Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Good evening, hello. As you lot might have guessed, Gerry is out of order. His coughing has gone beyond bad, so he's taking the night off. Hello Redverse, welcome Dan Lee and everyone else who's lurking in chat. How are you doing? I hope you all have a lovely week and hopefully your weather is a bit better than ours. The first one, the latter is hopefully for sometime later. not really now. We need the big guy for some more entertainment and on the front of tabletops. So a coffin would be bad, I think. Have you all been doing a lot of hobby? Good evening, Lazagram. Hello, Mr. Wonky Goblin. Thank you for your subscription. Did you find a recipe for your rusty stuff you wanted to paint? I'm sorry I couldn't reply to you on Discord on that because I don't know shit about painting. At least not when it comes to those details. I've been playing a game of Dreamscape Collision with my friend who usually plays 40k, Battletech and Frostgrave with me, and yeah, we liked it. It's a bit weird as a card-based game if you do not construct your own deck, but we'll manage. Hello, Mr. Wonky Goblin, Orinoco Witch. Orinoco. Jeebus. Matte varnish is something that never hurts, I think, because it's just a clear coat and you can do on top of it whatever you like. I could show you lot what I've been doing with the Tyranids that Gorham had so kindly sent to me. If I can find my hobby cam. Shiny rust isn't a good start. What's the phrase that Codsworth from Fallout 4 did? Do you know how long it takes for rust to be polished? So there's the table, currently devoid of any miniatures. How do we start? We start with a big guy, and I think we need to zoom in a wee bit. Where's the zoom button? Zoom, yay! So as you can see, I had to do a bit of surgery on this one. The original owner, I'm not sure what kind of glue he used. It's not plastic glue, but the top piece here is usually within these two parts. So the top half is 1, 2, 3, and a fourth part covering this. And they were also interlocked. I couldn't get them off properly, so I tried my best, broke the damn thing, and now it's yeah, filled with putty. I'm pretty sure I won't notice it once this thing is painted. Another thing I didn't plan on doing was filling gaps for armholes, because usually, and I didn't notice this at first, these models come with 2 pairs of arm. And I was thinking to cannibalize one of the Gene Stealers to give him extra arms, but the arm on this side is very well hidden behind here, because the bigger arms usually go in the lower side. So yeah, they stay with 2 arms, because it's not only him, but also his brother, who got a second coat. Can't even see the indent on this one. There was a third. Where did that one wander off to? It's this one. See, he has 4 arms as is proper. Though I'm not sure if the big clawy arms are correct. I might need to check that on a codex level, but yeah, if it's not correct, I don't care. It's a cool looking model, but it stays that way. Now, a small repair. The tip of the this blade for the big Hive Tyrant was broken off, and this is a bayonet from a Dark Elder weapon thingamajig, and just a little bit of putty to smooth the what do you call it? The transition from one plastic to the other. This is the other side of the arm, and I feel it's okay for a quick hack job. That's something that can stay. Now, the more bigger problem. I'll show you the correct version first. So there's this guy with correct amount of limbs and legs, and his twin brother. The recasting really didn't go as well with the Uyumaru as I had hoped. It was a bit difficult. Plus, it's still a bit flexible. But I'm pretty sure once all these are painted up, this guy won't be showing up as badly as he is right now with his bright green arm and his grey brethren. The last one I needed to fix wasn't so obvious because he was missing this leg, which is, yeah, it's a leg. It's not really that bad. And yes, wonky. I'm happy that those aren't metal. Metal pieces reshaping could be a horrible thing. Good evening, Mr. Zork. So these are almost ready to be rebuilt and primed. Now, just to show you how much there is in plastic currently, let me zoom out again. Zoom. A bit much. There. So there's biggins, not so biggins. We're putting away the extra parts for now. Jeebus. And then there's a bucket of knits. So yeah, those are a lot. Let me just quickly try align them somehow so that we get a point of reference. "20 knits, 30 identical gene stealers for Old Space Hog." I think I can beat you on that number. Let me just see if I can get these on the table properly. Hello, good evening, Mr. Jamis Katz. Welcome to the show. How are you, mister? I hope you're feeling well. You've been a late guest to the party usually in the last few evenings, so happy to see you on an earlier pass. I always feel bad when people come in late and I'm just about to wrap things up and go to bed and be an old grumpy man for needing my sleep. I feel you're fine. 40k has always been on round basis, so yeah. And you even missed the trick with the intro video when the ad for Squarespace ran. Where's the There's some more, I know. Where are you hiding, you lot? Yeah, I want more shooty guns. And even more shooty guns. Whoever thought it would be a good idea to have that many tiny bugs on a table? What idiot came to the conclusion it's a great idea to just dump the bucket and hope for the best? Round space for a website or domain. Yeah, that's the point. You go there. Oh, there's another one of those. I'm pretty sure I'm missing some shooty boys right now, but my eyes can't see them. Well, let's go on and stick up the missing pieces now. You would go here for the moment. And mind you, these were soaking in IPA for so long, I don't know why they're still in one piece. I would have guessed they would dissolve completely by the end of the treatment. I wouldn't think that they would be surviving as long as they did. There's Greenie. I think I'm running out of space here. There's he, and even some more. They can get brittle in IPA, he says. But currently, haven't had any breakages so far. Apart from those breakages that I wanted to have, and that would be the what do you call it? The metal ones that I thought needed some more cleaning, and I actually made to come apart properly. You go here. Either I miscounted earlier, or some of my miniatures have gone missing. What's happening here? I know I did an inventory initially when I opened the box from Gorum. So, Hmm. Are these still on screen? Yeah, they are. More or less. I'm pretty sure those should have been equal amounts, but obviously not. Well, distinct troopers. Spore mines. Begin to the side. And the 3 Tyranid warriors. So, yeah. That's the current setup. What's missing on this is now the metal hive tyrant, the 2 hive guards, are they called, I think? And 8 gargoyles. I did consider using Biostrip as well, Wonky, but the sheer amount of miniatures, I'm not sure if I would have had enough in one tub of Biostrip to get them all covered at once. And the IPA was a rather cheap solution, so I went with that. Though I'm still very much irritated. I was pretty sure. Let me. That I had some more. Let me check my army list on the project. If internet does work tonight with me. Did I write up what there is? Eight gargoyles, 8 homogons. That should be these, right? 22 gene stealers. Homogons. Termagants with various weapons. Yeah, the overall number still adds up. Even though I must correct myself, I didn't have 3 spore mines, I only had 2 spore mines. What I thought was the third spore mine was one of the heads from these, because there's 2 heads in this that look like an elder god, like a little Cthulhu. This is one of them. Let me zoom. I'm not sure about hybrids. I need to read up on my 3rd edition codex, because Tyranids seem to have been undergoing multiple changes with every iteration of codex, because they seem to getting more and more varied units. I think they also brought back hybrids, but since we're only playing 3rd edition, that's going to be the one that's interesting for me. Hold on a sec. I did find a copy online. So, what does it say? Tyrant Guard, Lictor, Gene Stealer, Termagant, Ripper Soul. Which would be which? Need to go and look. It's with Tyranids, it's really hard to see which unit is what. It's really not as easy identifiable if you never played Tyranids. Mutant table, Gauns. What did I say? What was those? Termagons. Do they come here? Reading a troops. Gene Stealer, Termagant broods. Hmm. According to 3rd edition, it's only one kind of shooting thing for the thermoguns. So I'm guessing the 18 ones in the back here are all having flash borer. Potentially. Can be altered by rules. Let's see. Uh, well, I really need to do some reading there. Or just use default profiles. Orc nids? I hope not. I'm not sure if orcs can be nidified or the other way around. It seems like everything from editions that are older than 5th edition is getting ridiculously expensive. Pardon me. Yeah. So this is current army plus the metals, but, and this is a big but, and just let me get this out of this way first. Kept grabbing the big ones first, putting them down in the bucket because of that bucket of bugs. Other people have buckets of bolts. I have a bucket of bugs. And can I just say that even though I went in hard with a toothbrush for getting rid of the paint in the small nooks and crannies, there's some pieces that I thought would instantly break off, just like let's me zoom in again. You see that alien-like tongue? That's still on there, and none of them broke off. I was highly impressed. Has Captain Crinkleface came out? Yes, he does. He was, and they ask 38 euros for one Kommissar Jarek. 38 euros. Do the conversion inside your head and scream. Yep. Just hold on. We'll just go turn that off. We go here. See, I already anticipated your call to thingamajig. I need to resize my space here a bit. Hold on. Why is it not working? So, Kommissar Jarek, 38. What's Daka Godsmack? 67 euros. Now, I know people are thinking the core box will be something sub 200, but I don't think that's going to happen. Especially if you look at the last candidate. The Cobbers are grapes, 80 euros, and just for shits and giggles, we'll just go and where is it? Where your lot? There. 29.50 for Commissar Jarek. £52 for Wazdaka and £62 for Commissar Graves. Yeah, Wonky, I'm pretty sure the 250 is probably the target number they're hitting for. Simply because we've got in there the big Orc Walker, we've got in the new Land Speeder, and a large quantity of single miniatures. So yeah, 250. I think we're going to see that. And at that point, I'm not buying it. No way. Oh, you got in trouble because of Baron's War? How's that? And while you explain to us how's that, I'm going to do something very silly. Because I like the knit so much, I'm going to build more knits. Those are from the Battle from McCraggy set that had been sitting in my closet for 25 years. £20 for 4 minis is a bit rich. People questioned my funness at level party. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if there's a lot of stuff in the core box, that's all fine and good and great and dandy, but it's still a fuck ton of money to shell out beforehand, and not everybody has somebody to share a core box with, so there's that. Some terrain from the MacCraggy set. I'm not sure if I did the Gerry justice and had proper what do you call it? Cleaning up the mold lines. I did see my knife around here somewhere. There we go. Where's my kniff? This is going to end horribly. There's the kniff. In the toolbox, where it's supposed to be. So, have you been banned from the Baron's War face page now then, James, in lieu of having the audacity to speak your mind on pricing? I mean, in all seriousness, I tend to break it down to a cost per miniature. And I don't care if some miniatures are character models that are only allowed once in a unit. That doesn't make them much more expensive in production if they're just plastic. Especially if it's a special command sprue that's been made. How is the usual price range with Baron's War? Is it more on the affordable side? Is it usually on more the scale of Games Workshop? Oh, and while we're on the subject of Baron's War, has anybody seen Pete recently? He's been gone missing. It's War Games Atlantic, so I guess that means they're a bit on the more on the affordable side then, yes? Is there more spores? More spores? There's more spores. Starter set is 39.54 minis. So, and the normal box 24 minis for 28. So let's just say a mini is usually £1 around there. Yeah, I could see your irritation to suddenly go 5 times as much. Yeah, it's a bit a steep ask. But then again, people have been paying Games Workshop prices for ages. I can't blame other companies trying to get their money's worth out of their player base. They need to make a living after all? Question mark. You go in there. Oh no, it's not wanting to go in. This is never coming out again. So, Baron's War. I've heard the name multiple times, as one would think on the tabletops. But I'm not really into anything that's could be regarded as lore or background story. Is it a real historical game, or is it more on the fantasy side without magic? So it's actually the historical happenings behind the War of the Barons, which happened, I assume, in England at some point in the past. Now, let me sort these. I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to have at the end of the evening. I'm guessing a lot. There was a first one, and there's this another one. How and why do people have so many wars? I wonder. Oh, there's another spore mine. Which... King John and the Magna Carta. I'm pretty sure if I was trying to get a hold or get a grip on how German history went, the level you lot do for your historical games, I'd go bloody insane. Not only because the amount of weird change of allegiance that happened in these parts of the world at that time in quite quick succession. Sorting out old plastic is kind of therapeutic. Don't you think so as well, dear fellows? When was the last time you built something that old? I wish. I wish, Mr. Cuts. It starts with the 30-Year War and the fact that most of the territory that is now known as Germany has been more or less a clusterfuck of small to tiny uh, fiefdoms and what else you call it. All of a sudden, there's even more. 4 of these, 6 of these, so they're still missing a leg. There's a leg. And some more spores. Yeah, non-holy, non-Roman Empire. Which is actually the one in the few occasions where the English word for what you are describing is way shorter or almost as long as the German description being Heiliges Römisches Reich deutscher Nation. That's something I really don't like to reiterate most of the time. Well, I'm pretty sure the saving of the British at Waterloo was a pure coincidence. Had they known what would happen in years to come, they wouldn't have done it. The Heiliges Reich deutscher Nation, a Heiliges Römisches Reich deutscher Nation. Nah, I don't think that's a very good good merch. Oh, bollocks! Why is this one so thick? But in all honesty, I'm still not past the thought of doing some kind of weird merch. I'm looking again at various retailers for T-shirts and postcards. Hell, how, why? You're just a miniature. You're going in there. And you go. If I say you go. See? Told you go. Why is there so many spore mines in that box set? And why is there so many bolt lines on these heads? No, this is just going to be a Tyranid force to play in 40k 3rd edition with my friend. Hopefully getting them done and dusted before Spring Clean Challenge ends. That would be a nice bonus. I'm not really aiming for any of the prizes because I don't think this project will merit winning anything. But I still want to be beyond the finish line once the deadline hits. So do him in the base first, or do the legs first? I think I will do the legs first. Technically, I haven't actually haven't had a look, but I do own a game of Space Crusade, Space whatever it called. I might need to look. But there's also some kind of nids and zergs in there that need to be painted. Glue. Have you sniffed your glue today? Don't miss out on your glue. Glue is good for you. So is any of you lot doing hobby currently, or are you just zapping through Twitch's channels looking for entertainment of sorts? Again, I'm sorry that I missed last week. You just didn't have much energy to do something, and I'm sorry that Gerry is sick today. What's the best for filling cracks on models? Depends on how big the crack is, actually. What I found for small cracks, and I'm talking something like you have a not 100% fit, is this Vallejo plastic putty in a tube. It comes out a bit like what's it called? Toothpaste almost like, but it has a fine tip. It's water soluble. You can just brush over it and make it the transition very easy. So this is for small things. For larger gaps, I'd say any putty will do. Get what you have. Since green stuff is unobtainium now, any kind of milliput should be doing the trick. But for very small cracks, even to medium cracks or filling indents, I found the plastic putty from Vallejo is just it's great. It's easy to use. It smooths easily when you use a wet brush. It's just grand. And that tube lasts a lifetime. I'm not sure how long I'm keeping on to that. Some years now. Though, to be fair, I'm not as much annoyed by gaps in my models as and mold lines as some other people we all know potentially are. Why is this now not fitting? Huh? There's something stuck in there? That's odd. It's not even making contact. Where's the difference? Hmm. I don't know. Not sure if it's like the Tamio stuff. I can't give you a comparison because I never used the Tamio stuff. This is annoying. You will merge if you want it or not. You haven't opened. Why are you buying stuff and not using it, Mr. Cuts, James? Where's the point in it? I think that should be some kind of therapy session for war gamers on a convention floor. You bring your expensive brush that you've kept in your drawer for umpteenth years, and now you will use it. Yes, the old better to have than to need mantra. I know, I know. Let's hope the other ones work better. This was not very satisfying. This sits better. And there must have been some mold slippage. That's why the garage has a chainsaw. My garage does not come with chainsaw. I only have axe. And a spade. If you want to grab Gerry, I think it would be best if you just run around and bring some beer. Oh, I only have a little axe. You know, the ones you use to chop up little pieces of wood and cut the occasional tree branch. I do not chop any big wood because I do not have a fireplace. I have no need for chopped wood. And getting rid of annoying neighbors is easier with a small axe. You don't need so much space to swing it and hit them in the forehead. Not that I would wish an axe to the head to any of my neighbors. Yes, that's why I had the intro movie that you completely missed, Mr. James Katz. My Squarebase advertisement. I invested so many seconds in that. And you missed it. You must go back in time or wait for the upload tomorrow. Also, I did get the song reference, and I almost had it stuck in my head. Huey Louie and the news. Hip to be square. From the great before times. Gesundheit. I'm so happy that I start the stream every time with a mature warning about cursing and being not a good boy. Nobody can complain. So, aside from James, Nick, and Gerry, who's visiting UK Games Expo? I'm guessing Wonky will be visiting. Is Mr. Yelly Belly still a thing? He's been away from the YouTubes for some time now. Redverse is going with his offspring, which is great. Which I would also do if UK Games Expo weren't in such a faraway place. Oh, is it just me, or is the fact that the interviews for UK Games Expo have a terrible audio? Is it just bugging me, or is anybody else slightly miffed about that? It's not the editing; it's the audio quality from the microphone from the set. It's the second interview they've now put out there where you clearly can hear the UK Games Expo guys and girls use a room microphone for the video conference, and it just sounds terrible. I'm pretty sure if Gerry is watching this right now and he's having his glasses on and looking closer to what kind of plastic I'm putting together here, he'll be a bit annoyed with me because I'm not removing mold lines as of now. I will be later, maybe, perhaps, if I feel like it. Oh, that's a grand idea, James. Making a forum thread for a potential meet the other loonies. Oh, and what's with Ben's OTT shirt having printed OTT on every side? I feel that looked very, very odd. I mean, having the logo on the breast is one thing, but on the breast and on the sides, and potentially even on the back, feels a bit overkill. But then again, I'm not in the media business. Maybe that's how it should be done. I really wish I could go to something like UK Games Expo over in the UK, but this is just so silly when it comes to organizing and managing funds for it. Sometime in the future, maybe. Or if I win the lottery, which potentially is also the future. Going by car? Have you won the lottery, Mr. Wonky Goblin? Oh no, I forgot. by car is probably the more affordable version than going by train. I do seem to remember discussions about train ticket prices in the UK. Isn't there some kind of park and ride service at the venue? And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the concept. Some cities here have that. You have cheap parking spaces on the uh, outskirts of the city, and then there's a regular bus going from A to B, so you don't have to drive into the city and be very annoyed about the fact that it's a clusterfuck. Does the train cost extra? Because the park and ride stuff usually includes some kind of parking fee and ticketing depending on which city you're in. £40 for parking for 4 days? That's, yeah. But I think it's still all well below what people are now being asked to pay for parking and accommodation for the World Cup in the US of A. Numbers I've seen floating around the internet are so insane. Makes me really happy I don't care for that sport at all. Your parking space, not York. York could be a bit off, I think. Could be a long walk. Now that's these guys done. But we still have these. Sorting stuff. I'm not sure what's worse, me sorting my miniatures on stream or other people watching me sort plastic stuff on stream. Either way, that's how I get my hobby done, by having people sitting at my neck. These arms are pokey. Let's. Where's the old one gone? I want to compare. There's a wee bit of a difference. James found his epic warpath. Hadn't you said you would want to look for your bugs, for your Tyranids? Why are you putting the warpath? Oh, and I think this army will be the first that gets the magnet treatment. Usually, I prefer to put a big metal washer down on the base. But since these are slaughter bases, that won't work. So I ordered a bag of 5mm magnets that will be going down here. And hopefully that'll work out for me. If you lot continue to chat about trains, I'm afraid we're going to attract a Lloyd. Not that I would complain about having a Lloyd in chat. He's been absent from the hobby for some time now. Almost as long as Warren. Which I find a bit sad. Because part of the appeal, at least for me, for OTT has always been the Weird Brothers. Not sure how's that with you, how your view on it is. Anyone got any UK GE purchases that would like to make? Is there anything special that's only available at UK GE? Or do the vendors just have stuff cheaply so that they don't need to haul all their stuff back again? Going to the show and spending half your money on parking is shit. Yeah, yeah. It is. Yeah, I'm guess you're not wrong there, Danley. Though I think my hope was, since they had been part of Business Daddy's portfolio in the past, that wouldn't change as much. But maybe the brothers Johnson are not so into the hobby anymore. Or Lloyd has finally had enough of us talking about Rome. Who knows? And I'm pretty sure that Warren shattering his knee didn't help much. In any case, should one of those brothers now be watching or later on YouTube's, I say hi. Yeah, the big board build vlogs were nice, but come to think of it, they were just a part of the boot camps. So since they don't have the boot camps anymore, there's little incentive to do a insane large board. So unless they're doing an event similar to the boot camp, I don't think we're going to see bigger build vlogs. The practical side of thing has gone down a bit. So painting tutorials, how-to things, jerry cans, build vlogs. It has taken more emphasis on the news outlet-y side, which is probably a higher value, question mark? Gets more views? It's more profitable? I don't know. Yeah, boot camps. Even though I've never managed to be at one, looking at the folk gathering and having fun together like a proper gaming club was always very nice. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing tutorials on quote-unquote normal painting, but the thing OTT did with things like the defiling of a Star Wars toy and making it terrain was just something completely different. Good evening, Mr. Grey Pramanik. Yeah, wonky. That's probably the optimal way to start professional relationships, in case they will do your miniatures once you are done with planning and making your game. Nick, you've always already been summoned to UK Games Expo, so your job will be to lure Gerry into the next bar. So that there can be a OTT meetup with all the corks and backstagers. Now, even more Tyranids. Hmm. Should I put these on some kind of base as well, or just leave them as is? I don't know. Yeah, fingers crossed Gerry's getting back on track soon. He really sounded bad on the videos at the weekend. When I talked to him earlier today, he said, yeah, you should have heard me coughing when I was muted. Almost perfect. It could be a plague, or it could be just Gerry not taking proper care of himself. Because let's face it, that man is consuming quantities of alcohol that would kill any non-Irish person. Where is my bucket of bases? Look out! Bucket of bases acquired. I'm not sure it's Hunter virus. Ah! Micro CD. Judging by my eyeballs, that could fit. Oh, look. Great fit. Oh, look. It has been antivirus software from way back when. I think this is perfect. Let's see if this is going down. Not sure if the plastic glue will set with the CD. We'll see. Now, for these little fuckers, I need something different. The dreaded allergy. Yeah, I guess. Oh. Almost empty. Why would you be impressed? It's just plastic from the underside. There's no lacquer, no film. Didn't have enough contact points. Pretty sure I've used plastic glue on CDs before. Successfully. No, I'm not going to waste 30 minutes on that. If the plastic glue is not setting, it's getting super glued. I'm not really waiting for anything to settle. Way too impatient for that. Nah, it's not working. You now get super glued. Well, it did glue to a degree, but not enough, it seems. Plastic magic, is that some kind of special hobby glue I should be aware of? I was pretty much astonished by how Tamiya Ultra Thin works in comparison to Revel Super Glue. Not Super Glue, Plastic Glue. Peachy, the little boldy guy. So now these are done. Need to take a quick picture of them for later Hobby Bollocks references. Picture. Don't mix hot glue and super glue. Why not? I mean, not that I planning on do that. No, I don't think so. I'm not sure if I'm going to fill it per se. I might just put a little tape beneath the base and then paint everything. I think that'll be enough if the inside stays black. Now, you go back where you live. Couple spaces. You live there. Super glue and unset green stuff gets hot. Interesting. You could have told me that earlier when I was working with green stuff for the repair portion. Well, yeah, super glue doesn't. I do remember the story of Lloyd setting his pants on fire. But since I usually use the gel-like super glue, it's not as volatile as the liquid stuff. Latency is super low in regards to me reacting to you, or just you see stuff happening on the big picture. Super glue and kitchen towels make a lot of smoke. I'm reacting super fast. Hopefully, for some odd reason now, streaming is up to speed more. I didn't change anything, so this is pure coincidence. A bucket of bugs. This now just doesn't look that much because you're only looking from above. Oh. Yeah. And remember, there's the metal guys missing. The Twitch gods. I don't think it's a Twitch god. I think I just had a better, what you call it, routing path this time. Because after the disaster 2 weeks ago, I did some research. And apparently, with my ISP, there's a 50-50 chance of having an ingesting point into the wider internet, being A in Frankfurt or in Berlin, and the one in Berlin is crap. I need a vintage scream. Could you please let me finish these first? I mean, let me turn this off and go back to here, and now we go, where is it? There. So this is 22, 40, 56, 58, 61, 63, plus 69, 79 miniatures so far, plus 10 spore mines. So, yeah. Would you please cut me some slack? I love my ASP. They don't exist, but I still get really low intensity. How does that work? And do I really want to know? You say vintage because the new one is terrible. Let me... Screamer Killer. I've been using the 40k Lexicanum a lot. Because it has a lot of pictures. Where is them? Internets. Third edition. So what did you say? How is that called again? Screamer Killer. Search. Screamer Killer. So the Leviathan box one is the one you don't like, I guess. And then there's this boy. Yeah, there's a... This one looks more happy. But I already got him. The Thornback, which is a variant of the Stabby Boy. So I think I'm safe on that front. I did show that at the beginning of the stream, so and I'm not going to hunt for bugs on eBay or Vinted. People are really, really silly about this. even older one. So the vintage one. Yeah, that would be him. Yeah, he would be an interesting addition to that, but I think that one's going to be unaffordable as fuck. I mean, this one really does scream. The other ones just have their mouth wide open. It's the same age as you. Fucking hell. Must you remind me that I'm becoming 51 this year? You wanker. I made my driving license in that year. Well, the paint shop is of its time, I think. Let's see, where did they get the picture from? Source. It's an official page. Yeah, it's cute. I'm not going to look and buy it. Maybe if at some weak moment I'm able to grab some convolute of stuff. Nick got expelled from school that year. What did you do? Nope, don't tell us. Answers on the postcard only. You have the same birthday as Mel, but I'm guessing Mel is older than us, isn't he? Oh, that's hard to gauge. I'm not sure I've ever looked into how old Mel is. And speaking of Mel, he seems to be really getting back on track. He's done nice videos the last few weeks, and I hope it stays this way. Yeah, eh, he's seemingly being enjoying doing hobby and being in front of the camera much more now that he's got his teeth done and everything else. And his videos are just so bloody honest. And if he fumbles and doesn't cut it. Yeah, indeed, it is James. And he really interacts with people in the comments, so he's seemingly actually really having positive energy from interacting with the audience. Yeah, and I like the way he's having an eye for uh, making things more than they are just from out of the box. When I did the spooky house for Frostgrave from the cheap €5 MDF kit, that was for me personally a stroke of inspiration, and he seems to be having those all the time, which is grand. I wish him to continue on that road and to be successful again. And if you're looking at his videos, do take a peek at the whiteboard in the left upper corner. I'm not sure if it's his daughter or anybody else, but somebody is always removing stuff and writing in different lettering by the book. It's subtle, but I hope it works. Oh, another thing. Where went they? Hello, where did you go? How do you do, Tim Küchenschutzu? I need to take you back on the bench for a sec. There. Oh, look, it's potato salad. Tasty potato salad. But it's not really potato salad. It's also glued shut. So these are the miniatures that came with my new game I like to play with my friend, which is called Dreamscape Collision. This one not. This is an extra. Where's the zoomy function gone? Zoom. So there's. Oh, okay, still can zoom in a wee bit more. So there's the old dude. Well, I painted him old. You could use a different hair color and having not being a bard with gray hair, but this is what I saw in the miniature. Then there's a gnomes, tiny gnomes with big hats, comparatively big hats. These two are a pair of miniatures you get in the set. Usually the others are separate, which is the sun and the moon. And the sun was actually one of the easiest paint jobs in my life. I primed this one black from all sides, did a heavy white zenithal on all of them, and then just dabbed a big blob of yellow speed paint in the middle, and the rest is just red speed paint and made a wet blend. And the main characters of the game, aka the sleepers. And they are just on big cushions, and I made a little bit of a plinth. So the sleepers are floating. And this is the part where I found that the lads from the company that make them could use a bit more quality control. I'm not sure we're going to see this properly on stream now. Probably the image quality isn't as bad, but if you look closely, there's a fine line going across here where the print line was, and yeah, that's it. It shows up on the miniature. I could have used some Vallejo putty and tried to remedy that, but nah, I didn't care. So he's got a stripe, and he doesn't. It's not a plinth, it's a flying base, sorta, kinda. Oh, the most fun bit about buying the little starter set, and this is the complete starter set, they included basing material, small little baggies, and a bit of terrain. Putty is ordered. I hope you enjoy it, and really, it's a very easy to use tool. That Vallejo putty. It just goes on very nicely. Just use a damp brush to spread it around. As long as it's wet, you can really do great blendings with it, and when it's dry, you can sand it. I think it's a first for me as well when it comes to games, but I think there was an army painter set, but which included some basic materials, but I think that was a basic introductory set for general purpose use. Oh, and I do know why Jill isn't here. She's building Lego. And in case she's here just sneakily listening in, enjoy that little Lego. What did I miss in chat? The Haggis game at PeachyCon. A Haggis game? I don't think I want to know any details. Games Workshop Sand and PVA would have done in the early 90s. Yeah, but did they really use sand as much? Wasn't it more like wood? Some kind of wood shavings, I think. Wood flock? I think it was wood, not sand, but it was Haggis Beach Volleyball with a progressively more angry Haggis as the ball. Who has such ideas, and how drunk have you to be to enjoy that? Don't throw the haggis. Oh, you God. You're all silly people, you know that. But that's why I love you. Because you're silly people. You silly people. Ah. And because I'm a generous god, I will now do two things. First thing is I'm going to replay the Squarespace ad from the beginning. And the second is I will have an early night. So you enjoy that ad, and after that, the stream will be over. I thank you lot for being here, and now watch the ad. See you next week. Hopefully, Gerry will be back and properly healthy back. Goodbye.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin.